Welcome to lecture series on the course Foundation of Mathematics. In this session we will discuss the notion of composition of functions. So let's see the definition of composition of two functions. Definition: let f from x to y and g from y to z be two functions then composition of f and g, then the composition of of f and g is the function denoted in this way, g o f. So O stands for the composite, so we read it as g composite f. So this is a function whose domain is the domain of f and the codomain is the codomain of g, and it's defined by g composite f evaluated at any point in x is g of f of x. Now in this case this g of f of x is very well defined. Each x is coming from x, so that's why f of x is defined, and f of x lies in the range of y, so definitely it's a subset of y, and therefore this f of x lies in the domain of g, and therefore this makes sense. So geometrically we have two functions, say f going from x to y and g going from y to z. Okay, so this is f and this is g. Then you define g composite f. G composite f is a function going from x to z. So basically what it does, so we know that if we have x over here, this x goes to y through f as f of x, and this f of x goes to z through g as g of f of x. So that's how it directly take this x to g of f of x through g composite f. So now one would observe that to define this g composite f, we need not require the whole set y. Even a set containing the range of f would be done, because ultimately we want to have, we are taking element from the range of this f to z, and that's how g composite f makes sense to us. So even if this g is going from the domain of g contain the range of f, that also would be done. So that I would take it as a node. So suppose f from x to z, x to y, and g is from w to z are such that this r of f, range of f, is contained in this w. So basically you have this w, the picture would be like this, w is this, and range is contained, this is your r of f, is contained in w. So anyway this x will map to the image of x through f will lies in the range of f. Okay, so that G might be taking the elements of W which is lying outside this range of f to z, but v takes this G composite f takes the element of x through f to z through G, and so we are not bothered about what is happening to the elements outside this range of f. Okay, so even if this is true, that is range of f is contained in the domain of G, we can define the composition. In that case, in this case also, G of f of x is defined for every x in x, right? And so G composite f from x to z is defined. Let's take some examples. First one, let f and g are the function defined from R to R, having the same domain as well as the codomain, and is defined as f of x is equal to x square and g of x is equal to 3x plus 2. Find G composite f and f composite G, and the question is, are they same? Okay, so first of all we need to know whether we can define G composite f as well as f composite G. So to define G composite f, we'll start with f. F is a function going from R to R and G is a function going from R to R. You check the domain of you check how this f flows from R to R. So obviously the range of f is contained in this set R, and therefore we can define G composite f. So G composite f is a function defined from R to R given by G composite f evaluated at x is nothing but G of f of x, right? But what is this? That same as saying G of f of x is x square. And how G is defined? So now let's see the definition of G. So instead of x, you'll have this x square, so this would be same as 3x square plus 2. So that's your G composite f. This is how it is defined. Now f composite G would be a function from, okay, we will have G first, G from R to R and f from R to R. So it's going to be a function from R to R. So that's again defined, given by G f composite G evaluated at x is nothing but f of G of x, which is same as f. You know how this G of x is defined, 3x plus 2, and f is defined as f of x is equal to x square. So f will take 3x plus 2 to its square, so 3x plus 2 the whole square, which when you further evaluate you get it as 9x square plus 6x plus 4, and definitely this expression is not same as 3x square plus 2, and therefore we say that G composite f is not identically same as f composite G. And this is an example wherein you can say that the commutativity of composition is not true. Let's consider one more problem. Consider the functions f from R to 0 comma infinity, defined by f of x is equal to x square and g from 0 comma infinity to r defined by g of x is equal to root of x. In fact, this is a unique non-negative square root of x. So I'll write down a non-negative square root of x okay, so find out whether we can define G composite F and F composite G. So the question is find F composite G and G composite F. So first let's see whether we can define G composite F. I always prefer writing, whenever I want to write down G composite F, I always prefer to write down the function, the domain and the codomain of the function of f first. So we have f going from r to 0 comma infinity, and g is a function going from 0 comma infinity to r. So definitely we can define G composite f in this case, and it's going to be a function from r to r. So therefore G composite of f is a function from r to r given by G composite f evaluated at x is g of f of x, which is same as g of f of x is given as x square, and g is defined as root of x. So this would be same as writing root of x square. Okay, now root of x square, now here this is a function from r to r, so this can be treated as modulus of x. Okay, so for x in r, so this is how G composite f is defined. This is for x in r, so we don't know whether it's going to be a plus x or minus x, so that depends on the value of, because here your domain of f is r. So this is for x in r. This is how G composite f is defined. Now let's try to evaluate f composite G, and for that, so first we need to see whether we can define f composite G. So first I'll write down G, the domain of G. G is defined from 0 comma infinity to r, and f is defined from r to 0 comma infinity. So therefore f composite G, so here first thing you note down that the codomain of G is same as the domain of f, and in fact the range of this G would be definitely contained in this set R, the domain of f, and therefore we can define f composite G, and f composite G is going to be a function from 0 comma infinity to 0 comma infinity. So 0 comma infinity to 0 comma infinity defined by, so let's see the definition, f composite G evaluated at x. Now this x is coming from 0 comma infinity, this is open, f of g of x. Okay, now this is for each x in 0 comma infinity, a non-negative x. That same as, okay, now how this g of x is defined? G of x is defined as root of x, and f is defined, f at any point is defined as a square of it. So this is going to be a square of root of x. So again root of x square, in this case I'll consider it as a modulus of x, because it's, I mean, it can be plus x or minus x, but since x is in 0 comma infinity, in this case the mod of x is x for x in 0 comma infinity, right, the only value. So that's why this f composite G and G composite f are distinct here. In this case they are not same, although you can see that the value is mod of x. Here the domain and the codomain are distinct from f composite G, and since we know that the codomain of f composite G is a non-negative is this part, that is 0 non-negative real number, its mod is nothing but x. So that's an identity function in this case. Okay, now let's talk about some properties of composition of two functions. So we put it in the form of theorem. So first theorem that we have under this concept is that let f from x to y and g from y to z be functions. So the first result over here says that if f and g are both injective, then the composition as expected is injective. So if f and g are injective or 1 1, then G composite F is injective. Secondly, if again F and G are surjective, then G composite F is surjective. By the way, here you cannot define or you cannot talk about F composite G, because see, G would be a function from y to z and F is a function from x to y. So you cannot define G composite F composite G unless x is same as z. Okay, and combining these two results, one can say that if F and G are bijection, then G composite F is also a bijection. So let's prove this one by one. We would strictly use the definition of injectivity to show that G composite F is injective. So first, in first case, we are given that let F from x to y and G from y to z be injective. We'll show that G composite F is injective. So two distinct points in the domain of G composite F, and we show that their images are also distinct. Now G composite F is a function from x to z. So definitely you need to start with any 2 points in the domain of G composite F, that is x. So let x1 comma x2 be 2 points in x such that x1 is not equal to x2. What you need to show is that G composite okay, so the claim G composite F evaluated at x1 is not same as G composite F evaluated at x2, using the fact that F and G are both 1 1. Okay, so since x1 is not equal to x2 first, and F, this x1 and x2 are the points in the domain of F, I can talk about f of x1 and f of x2. So since x1 is not equal to x2, this implies that f of x1 is not equal to f of x2. The reason is very clear, f is 1 1 or injective. So the two distinct point is going to have the distinct image. Now let me take this f of x1 is equal to y1 and f of x2 is equal to y2. Both this y1 and y2 fall in the range of f as per the definition of range of f, which is a subset of y. So this y1 and y2 falls in the domain of G and they are distinct. Okay, so therefore I can talk about G, the image of y1 and y2 through G. Okay, now since we know that G is also 1 1 and this y1 and y2 are the two distinct points in the domain of G, I can say that g of y1 is not equal to g of y2. The reason is g is 1 1. So basically what we have shown is that g of y1 is nothing but f of x1 is not same as g of y2, that's same as f of x2. So that is same as per the definition of composition, this is g composite f evaluated at x1 is not same as g composite f evaluated at x2, and that's what we wanted to show that g composite f is 1 1 or injective. So this proves the first part. Now to show that the second one is also true, second one, we assume that f and g are both surjective, f from x to y and g from y to z are surjective. So we want to show that g composite f, which is a function from x to z, is surjective. So how do we show that something is surjective? We need to show that every point in the codomain has a pre-image. So if I start with any point in the codomain, for that point I should be able to find a pre-image. So in this case our task is to show that this g composite f is surjective. So I'll start with any point in the codomain of g composite f. So let z, small z, be a point of z. Okay, this is any arbitrary point taken from this codomain of z, but we know that this z is also a codomain for the function g, and g is given to be surjective. So definitely through g we can have a pre-image for this point z because it's a surjective. So now since g from y to z is surjective, there exists a point, say small y in y, such that g of y is equal to z. So let me call this as 1. Okay, now so you have found that y is a point in y. So now this y lies over here. Now you use the fact that this f is surjective. So for that y in y, there should be a pre-image, right? So you should be able to find a point in x which serve as a f image of that y. So since y belongs to y and f from x to y is surjective, so this implies that okay, this implies that there exists a point in x, there exists x in x such that f of x is equal to y. So for this y in y, f assures that we can find a point in x such that its image through f is equal to y, right? So now from 1, okay, so our main aim is to produce a point in x such that g composite f of that point is equal to z. So are we done with that? So we have produced a point x in x. We will see whether the same x will work. Okay, so that means we will see whether g composite f at x is same as z. So now if I see g composite f evaluated at this x, this is nothing but g of f of x, but from 2 g of f of x is y, f of x is equal to y, and from 1 g of y is equal to z. So this is from 1 and 2. So therefore we succeeded in producing a point in x for this z such that its image through g composite of f is z. Okay, so hence we say that g, hence, and now this z is any point in the domain, in the codomain of z, and therefore for every point we have a pre-image through g composite f. Hence we say that this g composite f is surjective. and combining both this result, G composite F is bijection if F and G are bijection. So that third one is just flows from 1 and 2, from 1 and 2. Okay, so now the question is the converse of this result is true? That is, if G composite F is injective, well, that implies that F and G both need to be injective, or is that always true that F and G are both injective? Same way for surjective. Okay, unfortunately this do not hold for the converse part. In fact, if G composite F is injective, then both need not be injective, but that assures that F have to be injective, because if F is not injective, then G composite F in this case will not be injective. Same way, if G composite F is surjective, then this assures that G have to be surjective, F need not be surjective, because if G is not surjective, then G composite F will not be surjective. So that's the next result. And so to show that the converse of this result is not true, you need to produce a counter example, so that I would leave it as an example exercise. So you show that G composite F is surjective, but F and G are not, at least one of this F and G are not injective. Okay, so in other words, produce an example wherein G composite F is injective, but G is not injective. Okay, same way G composite F is surjective, but F is not surjective. So let's prove the theoretical part of this. Let me start on a new page. The next theorem which says that, so that construction of F and G is common. So let F from X to Y and G from Y to Z be functions, then show that if G composite F is injective, then compulsorily F has to be injective. And if G composite F is surjective, then G need to be surjective. Okay, so let's get this idea through Venn diagram. So we have a function, say F from X to Y and G from Y to Z. So let first understand this first part. See, what is happening is that we have G composite F is injective. So what does that mean is that this is F and this is G, this is X, Y and Z. What does that mean is that every distinct pair of points in X maps to a distinct points in Z. Okay, now if I say that F is not injective, that means say this F, the two distinct point goes to the same point over here. Let's say this. Okay, so this 2 points goes to the same point over here. In this case, ultimately G will take this point somewhere over here. Okay, and this will go somewhere here. Okay, not an issue at all. So here you through this in this example, in fact G is injective. Okay, but F is not injective. But in this case, G composite F will not be injective, because you will see that these 2 points through G composite F will map to this point, and therefore this 2 distinct point will map to the same point in Z through G composite F, and that's why it is necessary for this F to be injective for a G composite F to be injective. Okay, so we say that if this G composite F is injective, then F is injective. injective. So something like this, then this may not be injective. Then what will happen? This will map to this, this will map to this will map to again this, not an issue, and this will map to this. But you will see that this two distinct point will map to the distinct point in Z, right? Yeah, I mean to say that if G composite F is injective, then F has to be injective. So okay, so I just shown you that if F is not injective, then G composite F is not injective, the contrapositive part of that. So I've just shown you why that injectivity of F is necessary for the composition of two function to be injective. In a similar way, one can think of this. If G is not surjective, then definitely G composite F is not going to be a surjective. Just look at this example. We have X, Y, Z, okay, G, F and G. So if G is not surjective, that means one of the point do not have a pre-image. So this has a pre-image, this has a pre-image, this has a pre-image. So ultimately, if I go back to this, this will have some pre-images, so here, like this, okay, and the codomain of G composite F is going to be this Z. So what will ultimately happen is that this point through G composite F is not even going to have a pre-image, and that's why if this G is not a surjective, then definitely G composite F is not going to be a surjective map, and therefore if G composite F is surjective, then G have to be surjective. F may or may not be surjective in that case. So let's try to write down the rigorous proof for this. So we see the first part, proof of the first part. We are given that F from where to where, G composite F is a function from X to Z is injective. What we need to show is that to show that F is injective, so how do we do that? Okay, let's see the domain of the function F. It's from X to Y, so I'll take any point, any two distinct point in X, and I'll show that F, the image, F image of those 2 points are distinct. So let x1 comma x2 be a point in X such that x1 is not equal to x2. So we need to show that f of x1 is not equal to f of x2. Now I'll show that using contradiction. So if this is true, if f of x1 is equal to f of x2, then what will happen? See, this f of x1 and f of x2 lies in where? Y. Okay, so these are the 2 points in the Y. Okay, if I'm claiming that these 2 points are same, then definitely their image through G also have to be same. Okay, just using the definition of a function. If f of x1 comma f of x2 are equal, both this point belongs to Y, then G of f of x1, you can, to make your work more easier, you can give a notation f of x1 to be equal to y1 and y2, these 2 points in Y. So being G is a function and these 2 points are same, the image also have to be same. Okay, I'm not using any definition of injective or surjective over here. Okay, simply using the fact that G is a function, as G is function. Okay, so this says that G composite F at x1 is same as G composite F at x2. So what is happening, we see that this G composite F maps two distinct points have the same, G composite F have the same image for the two distinct points. Is that possible when it's already given that this G composite F is injective? So this is not possible. So this is the contradiction to the fact that G composite F is 1 1. So why we are getting this contradiction? Because we have assumed that f of x1 is equal to f of x2, which will never happen, and therefore f of x1 is not equal to f of x2. This is enough to say that f is 1 1. So let's quickly get for the next one. Second one, we assume that G composite F from x to y is surjective, and we show that, or to prove that G from y to z is surjective. So to show that this is surjective, we need to start with any point in z, and we need to show that there is a point in y. We need to show that the z has a pre-image through this G. Okay, so let's start with that. So let z be a point in z. I should be able to produce a point in y such that G of y, G of that point is equal to z. Okay. G composite F is a function from x to z, not from y. So I'll use the fact that this G composite F is surjective here. Now z is a point in z, so definitely I should be able to, this z should have a pre-image under this map G composite F, because the codomain of G composite F is z. So since G composite F is surjective, this implies that there exists a point, okay, in the domain of G composite F, that is x. So I'll take small x for my convenience, such that G composite F at this x is nothing but z. So that's same as saying G of f of x is equal to z. So you were in the hunt of a point in y whose G image is z. So have we got this? So if x is in x, f of x is definitely in y. Okay, in fact it's in range of f, which is a subset of y. So since x belongs to x, this implies that f of x, okay, let me call this as y. Okay, f of x, which I'll call it as y, belongs to range of f, which is a subset of y, and therefore we succeeded in producing, therefore okay, there exists, I can say that there exists x in x such that G of y is equal to z, which means that this G is a surjective, because for any point z in z we are able to produce, okay, there exists, I'm so sorry, there exists y, because if x is in x, y which is equal to f of x is your choice of point in y. There exists y in y such that G of y is equal to z, and this implies that G is surjective. Okay, make the correction, let me make it clear. This is y, right? Yes. Okay, so at the end of this session I make a statement, show that the converse of this theorem is not true, that is, if G composite F is injective, then F and G both are not injective. That means you should be prove that at least one of them is. So you should be able to produce a counter example in which G composite F is injective but not both are injective. Same way G composite F is surjective but not both are surjective. Okay, so with this small note I end up this session. Thank you for watching this video.